Hello there, adventurers, and welcome back to another episode of Neon's Game Night. Tonight, we are going to be checking out the indie open-world RPG DREAD Delusion that just recently hit its 1.0 launch, being made by lovely Hellplace. It's a game that is inspired by a lot of 2000s era RPG classics. The most commonly attributed one inspiration is Morrowind, of course. And it's a game that I've had my eye on for quite a while now. I never played it during early access, but I had been waiting for it to hit its 1.0 launch because it was definitely something that I felt like I would be incredibly interested in and want to experience in its entirety. So that's where we're here now. What you didn't see before this main menu was a little bit of a sort of animated description of sort of the state of the world and stuff like that. Very akin to Fallout New Vegas, where you had a narrator talk about the state of the world and some of the factions in it. It gives a little context about the factions and sort of what their aims and goals in the world are and all of that. So let's go ahead and jump right in and start a new game here.
The world was long ago broken, its surface cursed. You are a dweller of the sky realms, drifting islands that cradle the last of human civilization. Here, in the dank cell of an Inquisition ship, you ruminate on your past.
Okay, that's sort of where we start. Very much like, of course, Morrowind, you starting off on a ship and kind of thinking, I guess. And I accept, I guess, my fate that I am on a ship and ruminating on my past.
Dreams of childhood slip through your mind. Was your fate sealed? Even then?
Right, so it looks like we can kind of select a background here that'll affect our stats. We can be a brawler, an urchin, an apprentice, or a noble. Let's see here. The brawler says, the idea of battle captivates you. It always has. You started by smashing sticks. Before long, you were clashing swords. There was never any question. You were a fighter through and through. That gives us 2 might, which increases our maximum health and governs the combat skills of attack and defense. An urchin is described as, growing up, you were nobody, just another malnourished child clogging the city. Without the street gang, you'd have died like the rest. They taught you to see what others didn't, to slip in where others couldn't. They taught you to survive. It gives us +2 guile, and we get stuff like the lockpick and agility skills. Let's see, what does the noble say? A child of noble birth, you were dining with foreign dignitaries before you could walk. You learned manners and etiquette, but more than anything, tenacity. For the glittering halls of Riova can be more cutthroat than the darkest of alleys. Which gives us +2 persona and increases my regen rate. Governs the charm and barter skills. Well, I think for the purposes of this video, where we're just going to try to jump into as much as we can, it'll be, I believe, beneficial to go with brawler.
The mind sharpened. For a while, you excelled.
Right, and then we get a choice of what I imagine might be our class? Why does it highlight over this, but not the soldier? Can I not choose the soldier? You were drafted into the Apostolic Union's military. The God War might have ended, but the hunt for cultists had not. You toured the Union's fringes, fighting occult insurgents in bloody skirmishes, and seeing friend and foe cut down. Interesting. Like, can I select it? Oh, I can, I guess.
Your guard slipped. The mistake was grave. The Inquisition had your scent.
Okay, so this is really interesting. It's not just like a background and then a class. It seems like you're kind of throughout this whole ordeal kind of crafting a little bit of a backstory that just affects all of your a whole bunch of stats. So that's kind of cool. That's a little bit of a different way to do it. Let's choose something a bit different, and let's maybe look at Deserter. You'd had your fill of bloodshed, but saw no way out, so you deserted. Your old comrades pursued you over islands and skyships until you could run no more. So yeah, let's do that. Now, I have already hopped into the settings and changed a few things, like the wobbly 3D, the wobbly textures, and the retro resolution. Those came on as default, and then the field of view was all the way down here originally. Now, I changed those mainly because, like, I just like the clarity a bit more. I really appreciate the look that the game has and the style that the game has with it on. I'm getting to the point in my life where if I'm going to play a retro game, I'm going to play a retro game, and I'm putting up with the graphics being the way they are because I love the gameplay and the story and all that stuff. If I'm playing a game now, I don't really care to emulate the graphical style of games that kind of required to look that way. So we've got a little bit of our jail cell here, it looks like, on this ship, and can't really do much but come over here and open it up. Alright, so we got that done. Hi, are you a friend or foe? I reckon I don't really have much say in the matter. But I can go to another cell. What's that? Pilfered 3 coins. Cool. Okay, so I just have to walk over loot. That's nice. That means I don't have to constantly, go look at corpses and select menus and stuff like in an Elder Scrolls game or something. Okay, so I can't talk to this guy. This guy looks like he's seen better days. It looks like you've seen better days. If I was ruminating on my life, I don't know what he's ruminating on, but it ain't much. Alright, let's come over here. And looks like we can talk. We can see in the middle of the screen there our cursor sort of changes depending on the action that we can take. Is opening and closing or using has that hand, and this has like the talk, which is a bit more Oblivion inspired, I would say there, isn't it? Prisoner 17, you have been marked for temporary release. The High Confessor will see you in the central chamber. Okay. Do not keep her waiting. Why am I being released? Only the High Confessor can answer that, but I calculate there is an 8 in 10 chance you will be granted the honor of a glorious and sanctifying death. Okay. Can I reject that offer, please? Okay. So are you the High Confessor? What the heck is that? Oh, gross. The device lurches on unstable legs, thick blood oozing from its seams with each shuddering movement. A woman's voice, hoarse and raspy, echoes from within the device. Your service is required, Prisoner 17. That's not my name. A cackle lapses into a sputter of coughs. You forfeited the right to a name when you betrayed the Apostatic Union. A number is all you deserve. But I offer you the chance of penance, an opportunity to atone for your vulgar crimes. I am the High Confessor of this Inquisition Combat Tribunal. We are tracking the most dangerous of criminals, and you will help us. How exactly? Our target's whereabouts have been known for some time. A backwater archipelago on the very fringes of Union territory. Known as the Oniric Isles, these flying islands are host to manner of outcasts and miscreants. We arrived a few hours ago, but met with fierce resistance. Our target is in the Blinding Light Fortress, the last remaining holdout of the Dark Star mercenaries. For our quarry is their leader, the notorious Vela Kalos. I've never heard of her. She is the daughter of Admiral Kalos, groomed for command, but she has set off on her own to found a warband of thieves and pirates. The Dark Stars were tolerated in the Union until Vela became enthralled with delusions of grandeur, claimed she could create some sort of heaven. Before you go, take this Inquisition journal. A mechanical arm thrusts a peculiar device in your direction. It will keep track of your mission. My drones can offer guidance, and closer to the blinding light, Inquisitor Ignavius can assist you further. Oh, and don't try to run. These flying islands are unstable, and many a fool has fallen to their death. Okay, noted. The UI for the text boxes actually kind of reminds me a bit of the older Fallouts. A little bit with the Pip-Boy look. Hello. Damaged doors can be broken with a weapon. There's a chest next to me. Pick up the sword, then press the inventory key to open your journal. Navigate to the equipment panel and equip the sword into one of your weapon slots. Lastly, remember to press the attack key to unholster your weapon. Though this is a meager task, I calculate there is a 1 in 20 chance you will somehow perish in the attempt. Oh boy. 1 in 20. Okay. We've got a rusty sword. Perfect. It's a poor weapon, but it gives us 5 damage. So we'll accept that. And there we go. Equip. Accept. Perfect. There's our stats. What else do we have here? Oh, no. These are usables. Oh, this is our spells. And this is our item slots, it looks like. And this is just our general inventory. And our character stats, skills. Okay. And this is our quest log. The hunt for Vela Kalos. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. And it said attack button to pull out the weapon. Can we hit that? Oh, we can. What is that? Pilfered 1 lockpick. Hey, not bad. And he talked about the damaged doors that we can go through there. Okay. Oh, wow. Would you look at that? Man, the art style in this game is stunning. It is very striking, actually. I'm getting a lot more like... okay, we've got a pop-up. Health potion. This restores your health. This potion is brewed from the Eye of Pagyth herb that hastens the body's restorative functions. It is prescribed by most doctors, one of their few treatments that does more good than harm. Okay, God. This reminds me a lot of, like, Dark Souls more than it does, like, Morrowind, honestly. Like, being able to come out and sort of see all of this area that might interconnect with each other and stuff. I get that the first-person nature of it and the little health, stamina, and magicka bars over at the bottom scream Morrowind, but in other ways, that whole... the art style and just the way that everything looks definitely feels more Dark Souls-y in that sense. And we got a mana potion, which revitalizes mana. Perfect. Okay, can I put my weapon away somehow? Nope, not that way. Oh, okay. Hold Q can put your weapon away. That's nice. If I was going to compare this to an Elder Scrolls game, actually, I would compare it to an Elder Scrolls Legend Battlespire, which is one of the more often maligned games in the series, and for somewhat good reason. It's a hard game to love, I will tell you that. Okay, it looks like we can't really go anywhere this way. We need to go towards this really spooky specter. Hello? What do we have here? Another wretched soul caught in the Inquisition's web, no doubt. Tell me, has your High Confessor sent you off to die? Yes, it kind of seems that way. A melancholic smile spreads across her lips. She can be terribly cruel, can't she? She gazes into the distance. Well, stranger, you'd best watch yourself out there. Mark my words, something's brewing on these islands. The stage is set, the curtains drawn, and the performance is set to bring the house down. She smirks at you, and something tells me you have your own role to play. Okay. Interesting. And cryptic, shall I say. Alright. What else have we got here? Well, that's bubbling like a lot of the items that we've come across is bubble, but I want to explore over here. Okay, we can sprint with shift. Left shift allows us to sprint. Gives us another health potion. That's nice. Another way that it's kind of reminding me of a Souls game, more specifically Elden Ring, is the soundtrack in the background that's kind of just a looping, really melancholic series of notes. That reminds me a lot of Elden Ring, actually. Okay, what do we have here? And we do have loot. Pilfered 2 coins. We got another damaged door there, but before we go that way, you know me, I'm an explorer. I'm gonna... What the heck is that? Can I quick save or anything? Can I manual save? No. It doesn't look like it. What the heck? It looks more like an item. Let's see. You glimpsed a glimmer of delusion. Collect more to gain a full delusion? Delusion attributes. There are 4 delusion attributes, the fundamental attributes which govern your skills: might, wisdom, guile, and persona. To increase these attributes, you must find enough glimmers of delusion by exploring or completing quests. Okay, so that's like our XP, essentially. That functions in a way that you need to find your XP through exploration and through questing instead of like doing stuff. What do we have here? Hello? I have no idea what this is. It looks weird. But we got another stamina potion that restores stamina and a portion of stamina threshold. Derived from the jitter seed, this potion imbues the user with an unnatural energy. And another health potion. That's nice. So then can we put a health potion there? Or yes, and we see it at the bottom right of our screen. So that gives us the ability to use that potion, I think. Let's see, I smashed this earlier and got a potion. We got a stamina potion there. Come through here. More potions. I'll take all the potions I can get. That is for sure. A throwing knife. A well-balanced steel knife designed to be thrown. In Slev, thieves and thugs like to coat the blade with jitter seed extract for an additional sting. Interesting. Very interesting. Ooh. We've got ammo. An assortment of ammunition for ranged weapons, required to fire bows and the like. Okay, so it seems like ammunition is just one thing. It's not like they have arrows and like rocks for a slingshot or crossbow bolts. It's just you get ammunition. That's kind of cool. Alright, we got another one of these guys perhaps we can talk to. The road ahead is patrolled by Dark Star mercenaries. I strongly recommend sneaking through the mushrooms to avoid combat. It's not that I doubt your skills, Prisoner 17. I simply calculate a 3 in 5 chance you will die horribly. Remember, direct conflict is usually avoidable. Be on the lookout for ways to sneak past tough enemies. Yeah, but I was a warrior. I was a soldier. We fought things head on. What's this say? Stealth. In many cases, combat is avoidable. Press crouch to toggle sneaking. Your footsteps will not make any sound. Alternatively, you can sneak up behind an enemy to perform a stealth attack. Damage to unaware enemies will be multiplied. Alright, that's really nice. Crouch is C. Perfect. How would I cycle through different items? Move, jump, sprint, crouch. Interact, attack, spell. Item is R. Block is F. That's interesting. Switch weapon, hold or tap Q. Switch item is Z. Okay. That is really nice. So if we come over here and put stamina there, and then we put throwing knives there, and we back out, and we switch that way. Perfect. That's really cool. It's interesting that block is F. That seems like a weird button to have as block. Oh my gosh! Jesus! Holy cow, that scared the crap out of me. I was not expecting that. Oh my goodness. Oh, I literally jump scared out of my seat. Whew. Oh goodness. Too bad I didn't have a camera pointed on me that time, because that would have made for a good video or something. Whew. Well, we handled ourselves pretty well in combat, actually, without having to do any sneaking. So let's I guess we can go again here. Perfect. So combat's not too terrible. Pretty simple. Hack and slash. Sort of trade turns. Make sure to block when you can. Not too bad. Wow, the game is just very striking. It's very, very gorgeous to look at. The art style and everything. It's very wacky. Not wacky. I wouldn't say wacky. It's a very alien aesthetic. Very gothic in nature as well. But I really like that. The atmosphere is off the charts. Holy. Is that a bad guy? Is that a bad plant? E. Okay, I can interact with it. Oh, jitter seed. A potent seed that vibrates in one's hands can be used as an alchemy ingredient. Oh, okay, so that's like just getting stuff for alchemy. This item needs to grow back. Okay, cool. I was afraid it was some kind of like live plant that was going to eat me. And we got another mana potion. But let's go back this way. There's a lot of stuff happening over here. Getting close to some buildings. One of them is on fire. And all sorts of stuff. Follow the path. Also a lot of Kingsfield inspiration, I feel like, in here. Is what I'm getting. PS1 era, especially with those the way that the graphics are kind of meant to be. I love the freedom of exploration. The freedom of movement so far is really nice. And it feels good to control. Can I get in there? I mean, I don't want to get too close to the fire. But is there any loot? You know me, I like my loot. Doesn't seem that way. And it doesn't really seem like there's anything... Ooh, what is this? More throwing knives. I think we want to try those out, actually. So our next enemy... Let's try out these throwing knives on them. What does this say? With an unholstered weapon, press attack to perform a normal attack. Hold it for a slower but more powerful attack. Okay. Now, the way the game controls is very much like Morrowind. As I'm still playing a Morrowind save, I can definitely attest to the fact that the game feels very familiar in that sense. Are you good or bad? What are you doing? No offense, but you'd better leave this to the professionals. Okay. I can't ask you anything, apparently. Health potion. So that wasn't a bad guy. I don't know what makes a bad guy or a good guy. But that guy didn't attack me, so it's good guy. Hello there. Our agent is dying, but they still might be of use. You may have to charm them to gain their trust. The agent may take some convincing. You have been a prisoner for some time. I can no longer smell, but there is a high probability that you emit a foul stench. Success relies on your charm skill, which is derived from the persona attribute. Okay. Hello there. Are you one of the locals? He looks up and down in disgust. Look, just leave me be. I failed the Inquisition. I'd rather die in peace. I'm here to help. Your Inquisitor has tasked me with capturing Vela Kolos. And we succeeded. He lets out a weary chuckle and breaks into a cough. Oh my, I recognize you now. You're one of the prisoners. Gods, the Inquisitor must be really desperate. You know you're going to die, right? Those bastards wiped out our holding echelon. If you insist on this fool's errand, you might find some supplies at my crashed drop pod. Follow the river upstream and you should find it by the waterfall. Okay. Follow the river upstream. I mean, I thought we had explored that area a bit, but perhaps not. Or maybe not on this side? Or do we have to go in the water? Can we go in the water? We can go in the water. Got some coins, and there's definitely something inside here. More throwing knives. Okay, that's not bad. I was afraid we couldn't go in the water, because that is a very old school type of thing, to not be able to go into the water, so... Do you have anything else to say? Oh, no. That's all that stuff. So we did that. Okay. We can't get anything more out of that guy, so... This is really interesting. Gosh. Get some more coins. And... Let's see here. Ooh, there's a lot of loot up there. I'll be very happy to get up there. We got a shielding potion, okay, which temporarily boosts armor. This potion floods the bloodstream with a simple spell that can deflect attacks, although it deflects hugs and handshakes all the same. That's funny. I imagine some people would actually use it for that purpose, so that they could deflect hugs and handshakes as well. Oh, goodness. Very antisocial people among us. Okay, so it's definitely more like Morrowind and not like Skyrim, because if this was like Skyrim, I could Skyrim up these boulders here and jump on over that, but it does not seem to be the case. So let's go over to this building. What do we got? To progress, you must unlock this door. You'll need a lockpick to begin. You should find an ample supply next to me. When picking a lock, there is always a chance you will fail and the lockpick will break. To pick locks more easily, increase your lockpick skill. Mechanical locks are not the only security measure you will come across. There is an art to disguising secrets through magical means. Okay. Some doors can be unlocked using a lockpick item. Your chance of success is governed by your lockpick skill, which is governed by your guile. If an attempt fails, one of your lockpicks will break. Okay. Alright, so this is the question for any first-person open-world RPG that has lots of skills and lockpicking. Is it a mini-game or a skill chance? Oh, it's neither. It's a little dice roll. That's kind of cool. Well, I guess it's more of a chance, but that's a cool little way to do a skill check there. Has a little dice roll and everything. In this room, the candlesticks on the wall have been enchanted to seal a secret passageway. To dispel item, you'll need enough lore skill. The incantation will also deplete your mana slightly. Okay. A single passageway may need several switches, so always be mindful of your surroundings. What's this say? Some doors can be opened via hidden mechanisms. These secret switches require high enough lore skill and a small amount of mana to unlock. The lore skill is governed by your wisdom. You may be able to further increase it using special equipment. Alright. Pretty standard. Oh, is there more than one? It looks like there's two then here. And looks like we were able to do that. Something has changed. I didn't do anything there, so I'm assuming you don't need to put any inputs in. There's another one of those things. Is this going to tell me what this is? Your current status is represented by 3 stats: health, mana, and stamina. To restore your status, rest in a bed or drink a potion. Okay. There is a new little sign here. What does this say? Death. A powerful entity has taken an interest in you. By their grace, you will be plucked from the jaws of death and transported to a death shrine without losing items or progress. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so this is like our save points, essentially. That's our save points, and we don't lose progress? I accept these terms. That's really nice. I am not a fan of super punitive death mechanics, in all honesty. So, I approve. I very much approve. What else do we have here? This definitely looks like one of those Inquisition doohickeys. A little spiral staircase and everything. Hello. As you approach, the Inquisitor takes in a deep breath of air. Do you smell that, Prisoner 17? Mushrooms? He clicks his fingers. Exactly! He turns to you, a beaming smile across his face. I've never seen this many mushrooms in my life. Such wide stalks. Such healthy gills. He takes a long breath. And such potent spores. We have mushroom forests back home in Lundell, but nothing like this. He waggles a finger at you while turning his gaze back at the mushrooms. Prisoner 17, if you get back alive, remind me to get a batch of scryshroom tea for my wife. They make it here on the Honoric Isles, and I hear it's to die for. Okay. He slaps you on the shoulder. That's damn good of you, prisoner. Ah, but where are my manners? He holds out his hand in greeting. Inquisitor Ignavius of the 12th Inquisitorial Tribunal, pleased to make your acquaintance. Shake his hand firmly. He grips your hand with an equal firmness. I see I'm in good company, prisoner. He points at the fortress ahead. That's the Blinding Light, the fortress of Vela Kalos, leader of the Dark Star mercenaries. The High Confessor told me you'd be joining the assault, and not a moment too soon. We need all the help we can get. I've sent all my agents, but so far none have reported back. We expected heavy fighting, but it seems those Dark Star ruffians are a tougher bunch than we gave them credit for. Your orders are to capture Villa alive. A tall order, I'll admit, but I think you're up to the job, prisoner. So, any questions? I need to know more about Vela and this mission. What if I want to practice my combat skills? Ah, well, we established a small boot camp of sorts just here. I always make sure to remind my combat echelon of the fundamentals before a tricky mission, so you'll find plenty of target dummies and tutorial signs just below. I need to know more about Vela in this mission. He nods. Yes, I'm sure you have plenty of questions. What do you want to know? Why are you using prisoners like me? He grins. Ah, because rigorous labor is a tonic for the ills of one's mind. We're not like some common judiciary back in Union homeland. land, where prisoners are thrown in a pit with a scrap of moldy bread, no matter their crime. He taps his forehead. We recognize the twisted intellect of our guests. And if we can untwist that reason with the right application of punitive employment, we will have enlightened the world, just a little. He clears his throat. We're also authorized to use any method at our disposal. When a mission is going, how do they say it in Slev? Utters up. Tell me about Vela and the Dark Stars. Vela Kolos. Now that's a name that'll make hairs stand on end. She's the daughter of old Admiral Kolos of the Apostolic Union Navy. But instead of following in her father's footsteps, she founded the most accomplished mercenary band since the God War. Sure, she's currently the most wanted criminal in the Union, but you've got to hand it to her. For years, the Union itself relied on Vela and her Dark Stars to do the jobs the Navy were unwilling or unable to do themselves. He sighs. It's a pity she turned down such a dark path. In the later years of the Dark Stars, their number of villainous deeds far exceeded those of noble intent. What of the Dark Stars' villainy, then? Well, there was the Astral College heist in Bayon, where they made off with an artificed star among other priceless treasures. Then there was the stinking of the merchant freighter Popinjay and all those hostages slaughtered at the siege of Saracolo. I could go on. In the end, they say she lost the plot, starting yammering about some sort of heaven. The Inquisition ruled this was tantamount to cultism. Article, I don't really know what C is. I think it's 100. 112 claims of a religious nature and warranted her arrest. Of course, I think the polymaths over in Riova had wanted her gone long before all this. Got too big for her boots, and finally they had their warrant. Even Vela's own mercs got so riled up they mutinied against her. She's been hiding out here for years, but the Inquisition finally got the go-ahead to make a move, so here we are. Okay, I guess I'll get going then. His smile beams. Ah, that's the spirit, prisoner. I'm sure you'll make short work of those ruffians. And when you're done, be sure to check in with me after the mission. I've taken quite an interest in these Oniric Isles of late, and I'm sure I can fill you in with plenty of useful tidbits. Alright, interesting fellow, him. For being one of our captors, he's got a lot of charisma. His persona stat must be pretty high. This base camp was used as a staging ground by your Inquisition agents. It was highly useful for them to brush up on their skills before they all went and got themselves slaughtered by Vela's mercenaries. We'd recommend using the training dummies to practice your swordplay. It may marginally increase the time between now and your inevitable demise. Okay. Love the amount of, love the vote of confidence that they give in me. What's this? Okay, glimmers of delusion can be right. Open your journal and go to the character window to spin delusions. Okay, so we got another delusion here. Let's see. We don't have enough to put any points in anywhere, so we probably need one more. Which I'm happy to do some more exploration. What is this? Crystal points will restore your mana. Use the home spell to return to the last crystal point visited. You'll also appear at the last used crystal point when loading the game. Oh, okay, so this is the save point. Return home, a teleportation spell that transports the caster to the last crystal point touched. Though widely used by scholars, some still prefer to walk. They claim the chance of being incorrectly teleported off a cliff is not negligible. Okay, so that would be a spell here. And we can put that there. And what's the spell control again? Right mouse or left trigger, and we can cycle it by using control. Interesting. Okay. We don't really have any other spells though, so it's not too interesting there. Alright. A little note on stamina. Our attack damage depends on your current stamina. The lower your stamina, the less damage you'll do. Okay, so we definitely want to keep our stamina high, and kind of gives back to that sort of dance of attack and wait around and attack type of stuff. If it reaches half of its original value, you'll become fatigued, temporarily reducing all stats. Okay. Oh, so we kind of need to sleep in order to keep our stamina full. So it looks like we've already have our stamina like half. Blocking and parrying. Hold block to reduce incoming enemy damage. If you time a block just as an enemy attack lands, you will parry it. Parries negate all damage and will stagger the enemy. We cannot do it when our stamina is empty. Oh, what the heck? Oh! This is a... Ow. So that's just the training for attacks. I see. Oh, that is awesome! Wow, that is cool. That's a really cool effect. I was not expecting that to do that. So that's that crystal. It looks like we can sleep here. Resting in beds recovers your health, mana, and maximum stamina. Beds can be cheaply rented at inns. You may also find unattended beds throughout the world. However, some are unsafe, and you will be taking a chance by resting in them. But I feel like we can probably trust this one. So, is this the times of day that we can sleep? This must be morning. We're currently at midday, it looks like. Evening, night. Let's rest till morning, then. And all of our stats are maxed up. Perfect. Okay. Let's see how much more trouble we can get into. We have to pass this... the spooky girl again. See that looming fortress? It struck fear into the hearts of many who were braver and stronger than you, stranger. It was made in the God War, so the apostatics named it the Blinding Light to ridicule the gods they planned to butcher. Ironic that it should fall into the hands of someone so blinded by ambition and zeal, for Vela has claimed it in pursuit of her own twisted heaven, and the Blinding Light now turns its guns toward the faithless souls who made it. Her spectral eyes glisten. Tell me, stranger, if a hated enemy stood between you and your most cherished ideal, would you strike them down? Would you have the arrogance to take a life in pursuit of your fantasy? No. Still, I fear that in a world like this, such a heart will only see you dead in a gutter by the sword of someone far less scrupulous. Still, you've piqued my curiosity, stranger. I'll have my eye on you. Okay. To go along with the Elden Ring comparison, is she my maiden? Am I no longer maidenless? Alright. Already looking around, there's so many places it looks like we're going to be able to explore. I gotta say, I'm hooked. This game has far exceeded any expectation I had. This is some quality stuff. Poison. Deadly poison that can be applied to weapons. That's nice. And some coins. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. I forget that I can sprint. That's also very nice and handy. Let's see here. There hasn't been a lot of combat, honestly, which is a bit of a surprise. I have Pegluth. Okay, that's another alchemy ingredient. Let's see. As we get closer, man, that is just huge. There's still no enemies around. Well, how do I get it? Okay, I gotta go up this. I don't know if I really want to do that, though. Yeah, there's a lot of dead people that way. It's kind of scary. In a typical Elder Scrolls fashion, I would have to explore all the rest of the surrounding area before I even think about going into the fortress, I think. So I feel like that's what we would have to do. But, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all the time I really have for this right now. Um, I'm pretty blown away by this. This game seems incredible and is pretty much like solidified the fact that I'm gonna have to play a heck of a lot more of this, and I don't know, feature this more on the channel, give it a let's play maybe. I don't know, but I really am intrigued by diving into this game and getting to see all the different aspects of the story and really absorbing up the lore and all that sort of stuff. I'm very hooked by this. This game has impressed the hell out of me in these 40 some minutes, and I would, if this looks at all interesting to you, if you like Morrowind and like older school RPGs with really kind of crazy art styles, then definitely check out Dread Delusion on Steam. I'll have the link to it on Steam in the description down below. But if you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing. But other than that, guys, I will catch you all in the next video. Cheers.